I'm here at Global Citizen 2015 Earth Day with Isabella Lovin. Now, you have been on stage giving a great commitment today. Give a recap of what happened.
Well, basically, I recommitted for the Swedish citizens on giving 1% of our gross national income to development aid, but also, and this is the news because we've already done that for a number of decades, that we're going to streamline all our development aid and make it climate friendly.
That is a really impressive goal. Now, I mean, on the issue of, just let me start that, I mean, the 1% of gross national income, you're an international leader on this. Why is your country so very committed to international development?
Well, that's a good question, but I mean, we're also very privileged. It's a rich country, and we've had a long discussion around solidarity in our country, and I think wealth distribution evenly has created a peaceful society in Sweden, and we think that that's also a very fundamental thing for the earth. If we're going to survive, we have to share our riches more equally.
Now, looking at this commitment, pollution, that's the new bill, that's the news item. Why the new focus? Why the new element?
Well, because if we can't really address climate change, it will be extremely difficult to eradicate poverty and achieve any other of the goals that we want to achieve, including gender equality, because climate change will affect the poorest the most, and also within the poor countries, the most vulnerable will be hit the hardest. So the women, the children, the elderly. So with droughts and floods and storms and species extinction and all of that, it's going to be extremely tough to achieve the sustainable development goals that we want to achieve. So for that reason, we believe that this year we need to do everything we can to set the world on the right path, and we need to switch from fossil fuels to renewable fuels, and we also need to help the developing countries to adapt so they can really have a more resilient societies when we will see more storms and natural disasters as a consequence of climate change.
Now, how do we get other governments to follow in your government's footsteps? I mean, you're leading on the amount of money, you're leading on pollution and the connection to poverty. How can we get others to follow?
Well, through projects like this, when we talk about these things, and Sweden talks with all the countries in the world in different international fora, and we get a lot of support for our ideas. And I think, I mean, by awareness raising and creating the political will, which is created more or less by citizens engaging and putting pressure on their politicians, and that's the way to go, and that's why this project is so important.
Well, that got me my next and last question here. How do we get individuals at home watching this more involved? What would be your advice to them to take action today?
I would say one particular thing, and that is to get organized, because you can sit at home and get very depressed about the status of the world and all the problems you see. But if you get together with other people, then you can actually have a voice in different fora. You can push for your views to come through to politicians. You can even engage in politics if you want to, as I did. And now I'm a minister, and I mean, I can also influence. But getting organized, getting together, because one single voice has a very big difficulty in getting heard, but together we can make a difference.
Well, get organized. That's great advice. I really appreciate your time. What a great commitment on stage today.
Thank you.